Welcome. In front of me I have the VIVO X300 Pro, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device specifications, build quality, and just my general opinion about it. So let's jump straight into this. There we go. So 16 gigabytes RAM, half a terabyte of storage. And here's the device. I do have to say I do like the packaging of VIVO. It looks kind of premium. The presentation here is pretty nice, and generally has been for like most of their devices. And holy hell, that is that's a jar lid right here. Wow, that is enormous. Anyway, let's just boot that up, and there we go, and move over to the other things. So apart from the device, we have in here a energy rating, so 48 hours of battery life. We have some instructions, other crap, and we have a grayish silicone case, so that's pretty nice. And then on top of that we have another box right here that houses type A to type C cable, and it seems like that was a waste of space considering it doesn't house anything else. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's just kind of move this crap out of the way. There we go. Just built myself a nice pyramid on the side. So let's start off with the display right here, which is a 6.78 inches in size. Okay, there we go. Come on, we're gonna agree. So I'm gonna go through a quick setup just so we can see how that looks like in general, outside of just the setup screen. But continuing on with the information of the display, this is LTPO, that's what I meant to say, AMOLED display, 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, a 2160 Hz pull rate, HDR10 plus, Dolby Vision, and peak brightness of 4,500 nits, which means it can get pretty damn bright. So the display right here is just top notch. Looks like VIVO didn't skimp out on anything. All the ratings and everything that you'd expect is present here, so that is pretty good. Now you can make it a little bit brighter. Oh, that's kind of nice. So there's a bit of like a haptic feedback when you're increasing the brightness. And this is not obviously normal, so that's why I'm kind of pointing it out. And the reason for that is VIVO has their own skin over the Android right here, and this is what are they calling it? If I can actually find it, is where the hell is it? Oh, there we go. It's Origin OS 6, so that's what they're calling their skin, but it is running on Android 16. So that's the display. Now let's flip over to the star of the show, which is the camera, or the jar lid right here at the back. So we have a triple camera setup. I was about to say quad, but there is nothing here. So a triple camera setup with two 50 megapixel sensors, one being 1.6 aperture, 24 millimeter wide lens, and 2.0 aperture, 15 millimeters, 119 degree ultra wide, and a whopping 200 megapixel, 2.7 aperture, 85 millimeter periscope telephoto lens. And with those cameras you can record videos up to 4K 30 frames, 4K up to 60 with slow motion of 120, 1080p gets you 240 frames per second of, I believe this is slow motion, and at 4K 120 frames you can capture 10-bit log Dolby Vision HDR videos, which is superb. So camera wise, obviously this is kind of what the phone is going for, just outstanding camera performance, and at least on paper it looks like it's delivering it. Now let's quickly check out the camera in person. So zoom button, what zoom button style? Whatever. Next we have landscape and night. For night, whatever, just night mode. Long exposure and landscape. Okay, cool. There we go. Oh, there we go. So in terms of camera, let's just capture like a photo and see what we're dealing with. Cool, agree. And boy, that keyboard has never seen grime in such a detail. Holy, that needs to be cleaned. But you can see the photos are pretty damn detailed. Now let's also go into the video. And I want to see, so we have already Dolby Vision enabled. Let's move it to 4K 120. Okay, so this is actually not slow motion by the looks of it. This is just straight 120 frames per second in 4K. Wow, that is kind of impressive. I'm not gonna deny that one. So let me just kind of do a little bit of a panning. Okay, so just wanted to kind of move it around so we can see how it deals with it. Damn, that looks really good. I think it might be something about the, oh, well, on the camera it's actually way like overblown. You maybe lower it down. Hopefully this will be a little bit better now. Still pretty bright. Now part of this is due to the Dolby Vision right here. Dolby Vision does make things a little bit brighter. So this could be the default, but it looks pretty damn good. So anyway, let's move on. Now at the front we have a selfie that houses another 50 megapixel that also does 4K 60. I guess they are not holding any kind of punches right here. And it's a wide sensor, 2.0 aperture, 20 millimeters. That in itself as a selfie camera is already pretty damn good. Okay, so let's move over to the internals, which the device also isn't like holding any punches. So internally we have a 6,500, well actually 6,510 milliamp hour battery, which is significantly bigger than any Samsung phone. So Samsung, take notes, that's what you're supposed to do for the price that you're selling your devices at. And the reason your S25s aren't selling is because you're offering dog shit. So pretty substantial battery in here. 90 watts of wired charging, which is twice as fast as what the fastest Samsung can charge with a cable. And 40 watts of wireless charging, which is basically wirelessly charging as fast as Samsung charges with a cable. Fantastic here. So this is pretty damn good. Now if we move over to the processing and stuff like that, so I already mentioned this is the 0.5 terabyte with 16 gigs of RAM, but this one would be the more expensive version of it. There is a 256 gigs of storage with 12 gigs of RAM option, which you could go for. It would be cheaper. And in any case, any kind of option you go for is running UFS 4.1 storage type, or dual UFS, whatever that's supposed to be. I have actually no idea. So anyway, that's still pretty decent, even if it's single, whatever it is. So it might be some like improved divided storage, just so it kind of divides the bandwidth between two things by the sound of it, but I have never checked it, so I don't know. Now, other than that, we are rocking here a Dimensity 9500 processor. So basically a flagship processor right here, stupidly good one. And at this point, most flagship devices have processors that are so stupidly fast that it really defeats the purpose of them. And these phones, in terms of power, rival actual laptops at this point. So there is no need for this much power. This phone can get through it. Actually, let me rephrase that. Here actually it could be beneficial considering it's recording at 4K 120 frames with HDR Dolby Vision. So this could actually require some processing power. But other than that, it is an insanely fast processor that gaming-wise will basically breeze through anything. In terms of navigation here, should have no problem. And it is just, in a sense, a full-fledged flagship processor in here. So that's basically the specifications of this device. Case looks pretty nice. It matches or almost matches the color of the phone itself, and protects it pretty well. The looks of it, just a typical silicone case. I like the fact that it is matte finish and not a clear one, as it will take it obviously significantly more time to get nasty and like discolored and whatever, kind of like the clear ones do. Now, in terms of build quality here, the phone feels solid. We have glass back. We have aluminum frame right here, so aluminum alloy frame, and obviously glass front. Now the glass front right here is armor glass, Mosh level 4, and that's about everything almost. Now we also have antennas on the left side, along with the, I presume this is the camera button. Double tap, open. Oh no, this is a flashlight. Okay, so by default it opens up a flashlight with a double press. What if I unlock it? Wait, tap and hold for what? For ring? I don't want a ring. So possibly you can maybe repurpose this button. Also want to check if I open up camera. Nope, it still doesn't capture photos, so that's a bit disappointing. But possibly you could maybe repurpose this button to do other things. So all in all, a very, very solid device. And one thing that I do want to check is the price tag for it, considering holy shit, wow, that is an expensive phone. Wow. So apparently this device costs $1,400, euros, sorry, so that's even worse. Now I do want to double check this, because considering this device isn't necessarily offered where I am living at normally, this price could be very iffy. So I do want to check VIVO X300 Pro, and we're looking at a price tag of almost 6,000 PLN. Okay. Wow, that is a yikes and a half here. Now let me quickly check if there are better offers, and I already found one. So on okay, makes sense. So if you don't mind importing it from China, basically, so in Poland, for instance, we have a website called Allegro, which is the equivalent of Amazon, as the best as I can compare it to. So this is basically Amazon, but for Poles right here. And because it allows any seller to market their products here, China started doing that. And they're selling their phones right here on the Allegro. And this specific one, the X300 Pro, but even better than this one, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, costs 4,360. So it basically costs as much as the S25 Plus Samsung, while offering nearly 4 times more storage, faster processor, and definitely better cameras. Like I don't even need to have the other phone. I can tell you this completely smashes Samsung in terms of camera quality out of the park. So yeah, the only downside here, at least for me, if I wanted to buy this from Allegro, is the 9 to 10 days delivery time, which, still considering it would be sent from Hong Kong by the looks of it, it's still not that bad. Typically I would be waiting about 1 to 2 days on average for package. Obviously this is taking like 5 times longer, but still, considering it's arriving from a different country, it's pretty acceptable, and the price is freaking fantastic. So This is just straight from China though. If I wanted to buy from something like Best Buy though, yeah, that would be nearly, I think, 7,000 for this specific model. So it's like nearly $1,000 at current exchange rate more, or would be more. Let me quickly check. So if I wanted to buy this on Media Expert, let's see what the price here is. I do want to go for the highest storage. Let's go. Just blast me away with the price that you will be offering. So this is, so they are offering this one for 6,000. So 2,000 PLN more, which is about $500 US. And I actually don't see the terabyte version of it, which would imply, or maybe I just don't feel like searching for it. O, zobacz wszystkie warianty. Let me quickly check. Oh, so yeah, so they don't offer the terabyte version that you can actually pick this up in. So for this purpose, honestly, if you're in Poland and looking to buy this phone, I recommend going through Allegro. It has a pretty decent customer support. So even if it's being sold from China and something happens, you don't really need to worry about, because Allegro will basically go out of their way, and well, maybe not out of their way, but if the seller is refusing to do something that they are obligated to do, Allegro will do it for the seller. So considering you can save money and have more storage while paying 500 less, it seems like a no-brainer. Now I don't know how this would work in other countries and what the policies are for stores that are selling this and what the prices there are, but here this actually seems like a freaking great deal. 1 terabyte of storage, 16 RAM for as much as a S25 Plus costs. It's pretty good. So anyway, with that out of the way, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.